welcome to my actual potential and I video assignment. So basically, let's get straight into it. So for example, we'll get into actual potentials on what they are, and then how it involves with the eye and stuff like that. So basically, let's start in the morning. You are sleeping, right? When you're sleeping, you're at your resting potential, which basically is at negative 70 millivolts. So about right here, put negative 70 millivolts, so you can see. So that's your resting potential, right? This graph is the actual potential, like how it works. Basically, the x-axis is the millivolts, and then the y is time. So concentration of Na ions and K ions are at equilibrium, so they're at a normal rate. And then basically there is no actual potential happening. It's just you sleeping, right? About to wake up. It's called threshold, which is basically this is the resting. And then once it starts to jump up, this is called threshold right here. In this area. And then once the threshold starts to happen, the sodium channels start to open up, and then it tries to reach at 55 millivolts, which is basically when you wake up. So, negative 55, basically once it hits negative 55, it goes straight up and brings up, reaching max, which is at about 40 millivolts. And this is what we call depolarization. Depolarization is the influx of sodium ions going into the neurons. How this involves the eye is basically you wake up, right? And then boom, you see light. And this area is when you see light, right? Because this is when you're about to wake up. And then once you wake up, light. So light goes through the lamp and then it goes through the pupil, where the light enters, right? And then it hits these, and it tries to go through these, right? These are optic nerves, and then it goes through here, which tries to go to the occipital lobe, where it processes everything. And then we also have a retina, which is basically like the outline on the back, and also fovea. Basically, these are responsible for perceiving rods, which is like the retina. Rods are like black and white, and then the fovea focuses on cones, which are colors. So basically, that's what happens. And then, as I said, it hits the optic nerve, which is connected all from here and all the way to here. And basically, that's how the eye works and perceives light and color. So basically, we are in depolarization at this moment, and then once we hit our max, we start to repolarization. Start to go through repolarization, which is basically where potassium ions start to leave the neuron. Basically, the sodium channels start to close up, and then the potassium channels start to open up. So basically, it goes all the way down, and then we may reach at a hyperpolarization point, which hits at around negative 80 millivolts. Hyperpolarization, also known as the refractory period, is when the potassium and sodium concentration tries to go back into equilibrium as to the resting period, and starts to wait until another neurotransmitter attaches to one dendrite, to the dendrites. And this moment is when the potassium and sodium concentration starts to go back into equilibrium, basically waiting for a neurotransmitter to attach to a dendrite. Then once it hits equilibrium, which is the resting point, this is where the K channel closes, and then basically it's at equilibrium, so it pumps back to normal. Yeah, that's basically resting potential. Now you're awake, now you're fully rested, and now you're ready to go do anything.